Hi everyone, welcome back to more political chatter. This 2024 election prediction is between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So I do these predictions occasionally, and I like to do this one a lot because this is the most likely matchup for 2024. I mean, Joe Biden publicly said that he does have the intentions to run for re-election, quoting that he is the only person in his mind that can beat Donald Trump. And then going over to Donald Trump. Well, he said if he's in good health, then he will run. And I mean, honestly, I think that Biden will be in good health enough to run in 2024. And I mean, Trump has made numerous remarks about hinting, 2024 run. I mean, I personally think that Trump is more likely to run in 2024 than Biden. That seems kind of crazy, saying that Biden said what he said. But I think that Joe Biden getting sick and not being in the health to run will be more likely than Donald Trump not running. I really think that he wants to be the president again. So this is the most likely matchup, and let's take a look at some approval ratings. So everyone knows that Joe Biden is unpopular. He loses like all of my predictions basically, and he's at a extreme low, 40.8%. That is a serious problem that he has. This is the lowest since his 40.4%, and that was like for a day, and then after the State of the Union it climbed back up, and now it's at where it was before. So this is a serious problem for Joe Biden, and yes, he's very unpopular due to inflation. I mean, the war. He's really hated by the American people right now. But I mean, people forget though how unfavorable Donald Trump is. We also have to remember that Donald Trump's favorability rating is 41.8%. 41.8. Biden's is 40.8. Donald Trump is 1 point more favorable than Joe Biden. People forget that. However, this will affect Biden more because he is the incumbent president. People will put blame on these problems for him, and ultimately this will hurt Biden more than Trump. These favorability ratings. However, that is a problem that is very unrecognized for Donald Trump. I also want to point out this. I made a video about this. This is Ronald Reagan's approval rating, where Biden is right now. Let's see if I could get the little thing here. There it is. So we see Biden was at 40.8% and Reagan was at 45%. And Reagan would go on to win every single state but one in his re-election campaign. And look at that, Reagan was actually at a 35% approval rating, even lower than it is, and he still won 49 states of the 50 in his 1984 re-election campaign. So let's get into the map. Let's get into this election prediction. So let's go over some safe Democratic states. I think that California, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Delaware, and Maryland, and also Washington, D.C. would be the safe states for Joe Biden. Going to states like New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine's first, and Oregon. I think that all of these states would be likely for the president because of the fact that they're not as hugely Democratic as California, Maryland, New York, whatever it is. They're not that heavily Democratic. Biden won them all solidly, but with him being unpopular, Trump has a huge boost from 2020. He's going to do so much better than he did in 2020, and he will make these states likely. Going to safe Trump states, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Oklahoma. Essentially every state that he won solidly in 2020, he will once again win solidly. Nebraska at large, Nebraska's 3rd district, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and West Virginia. These are all the safe states that he carried by safe margin, so more than 15% in 2020. But going to Kansas and Maine second, I think that these two states, which were likely, will flip. Not second. Nebraska's first will go to him by a solid margin this time. Going over to the states of Iowa and Ohio. these really are going to go to Trump no matter what. If we remember from 2016 to 2020, these shifted about 1 point to the left, while, states like Minnesota and New Hampshire shifted almost, and Nebraska 2nd shifted almost 10 points. Nebraska 2nd, I believe, shifted 12 points to the left, and Iowa and Ohio only shifted 1 point to the left. So these really are Trumpian states. They still believe that he will create jobs for the area. And, they were really happy with his presidency. So, these really are tough calls, but I think I would give Iowa safe to Donald Trump. And I think that Ohio would be very close to becoming safe, but at this point I will keep it in that likely column because then again in every state, it's not in every state, in the state of Ohio there are a lot of Democrats. We remember that this state voted for Obama twice. I think that there just aren't enough Democrats to keep the state from going safe. So going down to Alaska, Texas, I think that these states would stay likely for Donald Trump. Texas I do think would shift a major to the right. 2024 really was it would be possible for the Democrats to win the state of Texas, but with Biden unpopular, it is not possible at this point in time. But Texas, I think, would stay likely because of the fact that Joe Biden specifically, but really the whole Democratic Party, has been failing among Hispanic American voters. They have been failing epically with them. They are dropping out of the Democratic Party like crazy. If we remember from the 2020 election, the Democrats got scared when they started looking at Florida, when they started looking at Arizona, Nevada, because Hispanic Latinos were not turning out for Joe Biden. They were not. They were going to Donald Trump. And that was a major problem, and this will be a major problem in 2024 for the Democratic Party. So the Democrats, they were losing Hispanic support like crazy, and they're not going to get nearly enough of it. So going to Florida, I think that would go likely Trump. Going to South Carolina, not many Hispanics here, I guess, but I think that this will go into that safe column for Donald Trump. Back to Latinos falling out of the Democratic Party. Nevada, I think, would go lean to Biden and went likely to him in 2020, but Colorado, I do think, is enough of a progressive state and Democratic state to go likely for Joe Biden. But going to Arizona, I think that this would once again go to Donald Trump, and Nevada. I think that this would flip to Donald Trump's column. I said Arizona will go once again for Trump. I meant to say flip back into the Trump column. Again, Latinos are not turning out for the Democratic Party at all in 2024. They are. They're still going to win the vote of the minority, but still, they don't have nearly enough of the vote as they need. So I do think that Trump will be able to carry these two states. I actually think that Nevada will vote to the right of Arizona due to the remarks Donald Trump made about John McCain. Going to Nebraska 2nd, this is a district that's slightly shifting right, not really on the presidential level, but other levels they are. I think that would go lean Trump, 1 electoral vote there. So that puts Biden at 196 and Trump at 236. So going down to let's go to Minnesota. I think that this would stay with the Democratic Party. I think it would go to Biden by a lean margin. Because there are a lot of Democrats, it's like Colorado and New Mexico. This was a Hillary state. We have to keep that in mind, and that was such a red wave year for Donald Trump. So I think that Biden will be able to hang on to it. I don't know why I haven't called Maine 2nd yet. That will stay likely for Donald Trump, and that means that Maine at large would go lean to Biden. Going to New Hampshire, Trump has not proven himself in the state of New Hampshire. In 2016, went to Hillary Clinton by a tilt margin, the only tilt state of, the only tilt. Oh my God. Sorry about that. There was like a spider or something crawling up my leg. Jeez. Alright. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway. So, yeah, it was only tilt Democratic state in 2016. So, that's something to keep in mind. But in 2020, it shifted to the left so much because it is a moderate state. And, they gave Trump a shot in 2016, but he did not prove out to be moderate, and they want a more moderate Republican. Well, they want a more moderate person, in office. That's why they have Chris Sununu as their very popular governor. And again, he's very popular. They love him because he's a moderate. So I do think that Biden would be able to hang on to the state of New Hampshire by a lean margin. Going down to Virginia, I mean, honestly, this will be a lean Biden state at the end of the day. They do have a Republican governor, but Glenn Youngkin only won because he distanced himself away from Donald Trump. And Trump was never popular here. This is one of the few states that shifted to the left in 2016, and it shifted to the left by a few points, which really is insane. And I think that Biden will once again be able to carry it, but I do think that his win here would reduce by huge margins. Going down to Georgia and North Carolina, I think that both of these states would go to Donald Trump. Georgia will flip back to Donald Trump. I think that this would go tilt Trump. He just does not have the support. Biden doesn't have the support here that he needs among African Americans. They're also falling out of the Democratic Party, but not in such high numbers as Latinos. Going to North Carolina, he will keep this in his column by a likely margin. This will be very close to becoming lean, but at the end of the day, he will shift the state 2 or 3 points to the right. We have to keep that in mind. And that means that North Carolina does become a likely state. So Trump just needs one of these 3 states to win, and I mean, ultimately, I do think that he would carry all 3. He wins Wisconsin, he wins Michigan, and he wins Pennsylvania. He wins Wisconsin by a likely margin, Michigan lean, Pennsylvania lean. I don't really see Biden having any shot at winning because, if we remember, these are states that went to Trump in 2016 because of the fact that blue-collar workers turned out in high numbers. White working-class voters got Trump the election because he said that he would bring jobs back to the area. And many feel that he did, but just because of the return to normalcy sense that Biden brought, many of them voted for him in 2020. They were very reluctant to. And a lot are going to feel that Biden hasn't restored that with inflation and all that. He hasn't, done the stuff for white working class voters as Trump did, and they will return back to Donald Trump. So, yeah, this is my final map. So, Trump wins with 313 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 225. This is as of some date that I forget, May 26, 2022. So, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I make really good videos very often. I put a lot of time into my channel. So, yes, again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.